Good morning. All right, it's Tuesday. Good morning. We are going live today with Yvonne Haase. So let me invite her. Hi, Sonia. Good morning. Let's see here. How do we do that? Hi, good morning. All right, so we're just waiting on Yvonne to join. Hey,
Hey, good
Yvonne.
morning.
Hi, good
You have
morning.
better lighting than I have. Like, you look like radiant and dewy, and I look old and bored.
No, you don't.
Oh, good morning.
How are you? Good morning. Happy
Happy
Tuesday.
Tuesday. How are you?
Fantastic.
Awesome. Great stuff.
I am going to see. Important.
What you doing?
I am trying to pin
Uh,
so that as people join, they know what we're talking
thank you.
about. But I don't know how to do that. We'll learn that from Karina later. Hi, happy Tuesday. How are
Well,
you
going
today?
into what is this, week number 7, which feels like week number, I don't know, 32? Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get like so into the zone from working from home, and then they're gonna be like, "Bam! There's a cure. Everybody back to your office." And I'm gonna be like, "No, I'm not ready. I don't want to go. Don't make me leave." How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. So I wanted to start today, before we start talking about our
Uh-huh.
topic, with one positive thing that's happened to you lately.
One positive thing that's,
Curveball.
you know, there's a lot of positive things going on, despite all of the craziness that's going on. I mean, I feel like I am like having such a better relationship with my kids because I get to see them more, and like the other day, my
Okay.
daughter's like, "It's so nice that you don't have to drive home for an hour after work. When you leave the office, you just close a door and come downstairs." And I'm like, "That's so
Oh,
nice." Like, she actually still wants to hang out with me, which is awesome.
that is awesome. That's what Tanya just said, more time with her kids too.
Yeah.
So that's really
I think that's
nice.
like crazy important, and I think that we kind of forget that stuff. Like, especially as
Yes.
working parents, and we get like really involved in our jobs and stuff. We want to provide for our kids and all of this stuff, and really they're like, "Can you just play a game with me?" Like, really? That's all you need? For sure. Oh, I like a cleaner house. That's so true. Like, my house has been cleaner since I've been home because I avoid paperwork. So whoever that is, I'm with you, TV Fab. How about you?
Oh, that's
Oh,
Tanya.
how about you, Sunshine? What's going good for you?
I want to say along the same lines where I feel that I am having much better connection with my family,
Mm-hmm.
even the ones that are not here, in the house. We're much closer now than we were before. And I think it's because it's just we know that we can't see each other, so you make it a point to call one
Yeah.
another. So I'm seeing my brother much more. I'm talking to I always talk to my mom, but I'm talking to more of my family and enjoying them, like really enjoy them and talk to them. And so that deeper connection has definitely been something that I'm enjoying a
Yeah.
lot.
And you have to create more conversation, right? Because you're not
Yeah,
gone all day. Like, you're home. For those of us who
no.
are
And you can
working.
no longer say I'm too busy because even though I feel like I am busier, but you don't have that
No,
excuse
that's
anymore.
that's a weird thing, right? Like, so many people that I'm talking to are saying things like, I'm working from home and I feel like I should be working less, but I'm actually working more. Like, I feel like I'm
Right.
putting in longer days and more hours and getting more done. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of crazy when you X the commute back and forth. I don't know where everybody else lives, but in South Florida, the commute is part of your schedule. Like, you've got to schedule the traffic to get anywhere, right? So once you remove
Yeah.
that and you're like home, you're like, damn, I can get all kinds of stuff done.
Pretty
It is
amazing.
amazing. I love it. So what
All
are we
right.
chatting about
So that's
today?
great. Today, we are talking about the importance of a morning routine, which I'm very excited to talk about that because I feel like I've always had a routine, and lately, being home, as you would assume that it's easier to have a routine, at the same time, I feel like it's become much harder. So I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah, first of all, people hear the word routine and they're like, I can't commit to one more thing, but the reality is you already have a morning routine. It just might not be as effective, right? Everybody gets up in the
Okay.
morning. Everybody does one thing first in the morning. Everybody does, the next thing in their day. But you don't put a lot of like conscious thought into it. So you just keep going through and you're doing things and you're like, oh, now I got to add more stuff. No, you're not adding more stuff. You're just replacing some stuff, right? But we all have a morning routine, and every book that you read, and I like my friend Kevin Thatcher is on here, and he's great at this kind of stuff. And thank you, Kevin, because you're absolutely amazing too. But every morning I get an action quote from him every day. So the first thing in my morning routine is I open my email and I read my action quote for the day. And he sends those out free to everybody. So you can get like this quote Monday through Friday in your inbox that not only has a quote, but it's got an action. Like, what are you going to do? So start my.
Ooh, so how do we get that?
I will send you the link and you can send it out. I don't remember what it's
And we can
getting
add
it
it
for
on,
so long
yes.
that I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's like Kevin's action quotes or something like that. But I'll send you.
Well, Kevin, if you're still on the live, you can go ahead and add
Oh
it on the
yeah,
comments for the people that are
he's at it.
watching.
So it's very cool. So the first thing
Yes.
I do in my morning is decide what my action is going to be, right? And it's always a positive thing. But I think we got to start looking at the morning routine as just changing the way we start our day versus trying to, create a whole new schedule that I think most of us at this point are going to be like, yeah, I'm not doing that crap. Thanks, Yvonne.
Not
I'm
doing that.
out.
All right, but here here is what I want to ask you though, because you said that so the first thing you do is check your email for his
Yeah.
quote, right? And well, I would say that if I do that, or many other people do that, right? It's going to come into your email, and what do you do after? You check, you start with how do you go from just checking that one thing and taking that action and not looking at all your 500 other emails that have come in that get your brain
Yeah.
working up, whether it's work, family, or
If
whatever
that's
else?
if that's not your thing, if see, and the thing too is that you have to find the routine that works for you, right? So not everybody's routine is going to work for everybody. I follow this other guy. His name is William Schrufeld. He's the actor. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. He's this cutie patootie actor who plays the Red Power Ranger, right? He gets up every day at 3 a.m. That's not happening. Not doing that. If I'm up at 3 a.m., it's because I have insomnia and I can't get back to sleep. He's up and he's at the gym by like 4 a.m. Okay. So that's not, but he also goes to bed at like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. Well, I'm a mom, then that's just not an option for me. So you got to find what
Right.
works for you, right? So I have the ability to just read that one because I'm looking to start my day and then put the phone down.
Okay.
But if you don't have that ability, this is not about trying to force you to do something new. It's about working with what your talents already are. If you have an ability, which I do not, to get out of bed and do like your morning stretches before you do anything, God love you. You're a rock star. Yeah. So I
Yes.
don't.
Okay, so then what? So we don't confuse our followers right
Mhm.
now. What is a morning routine, right? So like so that we can start identifying the importance of having one. What would you say is an actual morning routine?
A morning
Like how do we
is
define it?
something that you do every day that inspires you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Okay, so you gotta set your declarations for these three areas of your life, right? Because otherwise we get out of bed and we're like, oh, it's Tuesday. Oh, it's Wednesday. Oh, thank God it's Friday. Well, really in quarantine, I don't know what the difference between Friday and Monday are for people anymore, but people are still celebrating the weekend.
No.
Good for you. So, but we've got to, people like to feel a sense of purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to have something that we're contributing to. When we feel like we're creating something or we're living with a sense of purpose, we actually have less anxiety, we have less depression, we have less of these, issues that keep us wanting to stay in bed and pull the covers up over our head. So we got to set 3 areas of our life on fire. And it's always physically, intellectually, spiritually. We take care of those 3 things in the morning, and P.S. you take care of those 3 things at night too, before you go to bed, right? You're setting yourself up for a better day.
Okay. I like that. So we would do not only important in the morning, but also at night. So you begin your day taking care of yourself, and you end your day taking care of yourself.
As opposed to, and I don't know about the guys, but I know women, we are really, really good at this, right? So like toward the end of the day, we beat ourselves up for all the crap we didn't get done that day. Really? How do you?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And then you're up at 2:00 in the morning because you can't sleep because you didn't get stuff done because you beat yourself up for it. And now you're like, I don't know why I can't get out of my own way. Well, honey, it's not rocket science. You can't get out of your own way because you're standing in the way. What we say to ourselves is, it impacts us for the day. We have a friend, and Dr. Jenna, right? The chiropractor, have her baby.
Yes.
I went to a presentation of hers. This feels like years ago now, but she's so stinking cute. I don't know between her and Miss Karina on here, like which of the 2 has more energy. They killed me. So she doesn't step foot out of bed before she says it's going to be a great, like 27 times. Like she's got this magic number that works for her. And then she's like,
okay.
Day. And then she gets out of bed. She's like, but I say it until I feel it, and then I get up. And I'm like, so I've been telling patients all the time, that's a great idea. Because most people think about, what do you say to yourself in the morning, Tati, like on an average morning?
Do I have to answer that question?
I think that expression answers it in and of itself, right? Like, so most of us are waking up going, I can't believe that alarm went off already. What the hell is this?
Yeah. So I do have to admit, lately, I have been, I could feel the negative thoughts or the don't want to do this. Is it another day? I didn't finish this last night. All these thoughts are rushing through your head. And I catch myself, I stop, and I say a prayer. I say a prayer, I finish my prayer, and I'm like, we're good. We're going to get through this. You get out of bed, and I keep going. That works for me. And I'm also, like you said about the email doesn't usually work for me because my personal email, my work email, all goes to the same inbox. Too. And if I see something, I'll get either excited because something happened or be like, oh, I got to take care of this. And then the brain just switches from being calm, preparing for my day to already in my day.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that I might.
I think, though, for most of us right now, it's very easy to have some negative thoughts. I mean, and you can't escape it on social media either. People are posting, and everybody's entitled to their view, whether you think we should open up or not open up or, do all of these things. I'm not here to debate that, but whatever your side is, when you open up, inevitably you see the opposite side, so you're just fed with this negativity, or you're fed with news headlines. We talked about that last week, and just seeing all of that. And I think you have to, like, for you, prayer works. For me, stepping outside, just sort of readjust.
Okay. We talked about that last week.
Readjust the environment. But you're gonna need to understand, like, these negative thoughts are definitely going to pop up. I mean, they're part of human psyche. We're not all walking around like Miss Pollyanna or Mary Poppins, whichever generation you're from, right? That everything is so freaking fabulous 24/7. That's not going to happen. You know, and I think life
Yeah.
is pretty darn good, but I don't think it's happy 24/7. If your life is happy 24/7, please let us all post in the notes what your prescription is, because we're all going to your doctor.
Yes, we
We're
will
going to
take
take
it.
it. Yeah.
I do, like this morning, I went outside, I had my cup of coffee, just getting ready for our live, and I was feeding my cats. I have two outdoor cats that I spoiled them to death. And it was such a beautiful day. I was like, you know what, maybe I should just bring a table out here and do the live outside, because it's so
Mm-hmm.
perfect, and the sunshine coming in, and it just gives you that extra energy. I hear the birds singing. I'm like, it's so peaceful. But then I realized that might not be a good idea, because it, you know, all the distractions from outside, the cars and everything. But it is a beautiful day, and you go outside and it changes your
Yeah.
mindset.
I mean, if you don't get to walk outside from your normal everyday job, and now you're at home and you're not allowing to walk yourself outside, then your boss is mean. Let me tell you, your boss is mean.
Yeah, but who's your boss?
Exactly.
Yourself. You yourself are the one creating these
Mm-hmm.
barriers from getting
Yeah.
things done
No.
or enjoying the small things in
Mm-hmm.
life.
Yeah. So every successful person that I've ever met has a morning routine that they start their day with. But you know what's interesting? So I'm just going to throw this in as a therapist. If you suffer depression, sometimes changing your morning routine will help alleviate some morning depression issues. So if, like, every morning you get up and the first thing you do is brush your teeth and then take a shower and then drink coffee, you might want to try getting up, drinking coffee, taking a shower, and brushing your teeth, because depression kind of gets in a on a wavelength, right? And it has to be detoured. So when you start detouring your normal activities in the morning, you actually create changes in the neural pathways of your brain, which forces your brain to react differently, which does technically help a lot of people alleviate some, depression. I just want to throw that.
That's a great tip. So then you would say that having a morning routine doesn't necessarily have to be the same every day.
No,
You just have to have a
yeah, you
routine.
just have to have a routine. You have to do something that inspires you to get your ass out of bed. I'm sorry if this is a family show, but to get your ass out of bed. He's like, no. Um, so if you don't, then it's just another regular day, right? Like, there's nothing inspiring to me about getting up and dragging myself downstairs and sitting around in a chair doing nothing. Like, that doesn't make me want to get up. But most people will find too, if they get up and they engage in a morning routine that inspires those three areas, it's your physical, your mental, and your spiritual, they're like, the rest of my day went pretty well. Because it's like getting up and, if you get up and you eat, like, I don't know, crap for breakfast, like you're eating cold pizza and cold beer left over from the night before, your brain says, oh, whatever, this is just another one of those days. But you get up and you do something that's good for yourself, then your body says, hey, I'm on it. Like, I already feel accomplished today. You know?
Well, I feel that way about getting dressed.
Yeah.
And not that I'm walking around, undressed. But I mean, getting out of your pajamas, right? Like, I feel like the days that I get out of bed and I stay in my pajamas, even if I come into the office because I'm rushing or checked on an email that I shouldn't
Right.
have before getting myself ready, I'm not as productive as when I choose what I'm going to wear. I, take my shower, I put my favorite outfit on, and then I'm ready for work. Or then I'm ready for my workout, or I'm ready for whatever I'm
Yeah.
going to do. But I'm ready for my day.
It's interesting. So, being a therapist, I like to run psychological experiments on my family. So, this is one of
Oh
the
boy.
benefits of living with me, aside from the fact that I think I'm funny. So, I decided one day, because my kids were always like, I just want to lounge around and do nothing all day and be in my pajamas because I go to school all day and I'm tired and I work. And then I said, okay, fine. Just picked a day. And I said, stay in your pajamas for the day. You know, don't do anything today. Lounge around, do nothing. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my teenager was like, this has been the most depressing day ever. Yeah.
Your teenager said
Yes.
that.
And I'm like, well, I
Huh.
can tell you why. And they're like, I'm sure it's some psychological thing. I'm like, of course it's psychological. Hello. First day on your job here? No, I mean, because he got what he wanted. He lounged around. He did nothing, right? And his brain didn't have a chance to engage in anything. And if our brain doesn't have a chance to engage, we don't get up and prepare ourselves and say, hey, let me get, moving in my day here. Your brain's just going to say, you know what? Nice talking to you. Toodles. And it's going to shut down. So trust me, from the therapist who runs the psychological experiments on her children. Yeah. Get dressed.
Get dressed. Change out of
Get
your
out of your
PJs.
PJs. Put on something cute. Ladies, put your face on. Lack of motivation from Miss TV Fab 40. So I guess that's like a question. Are you asking if it's a lack of motivation or?
I don't know.
Or maybe she's saying it's a lack of motivation that causes the depression kind of thing. I don't know.
Maybe she'll keep writing and then we can answer. But okay, so then how do we, you said it's the 3 pillars. Oh, I think staying in PJs is lack of motivation.
Yeah, you know what? You know what changes motivation? Action. Okay. So we were raised in this society that says, I don't know if we talked about this last week. Like if you want to change something, change the way you feel, then change the behavior, then you'll get the results. Right? Well, if I took that seriously and decided to change the way I feel about working out, because I love the outfits. I don't love working out. I don't. I do it because otherwise, I'm telling you right now, 600-pound Mike is going to send me an audition tape, right? They're going to say, hey, Yvonne, come join us. So, but if I wait to change the way I feel about it, the action's not going to happen. So what actually causes our brain to change the way we feel about something is take the action. Nobody feels worse after a workout. It doesn't happen that way. Nobody feels worse after you go for a run. Nobody feels worse after you go for a walk, right? So the next day you might not still love exercise, but you're starting to change the way you feel about it because you took the action. So if you want to change your motivation, add one little piece of action into your life and it will energize you.
Makes a lot of sense.
But if you're sitting around waiting to change the way you feel, well, you tell me how that works out for you.
You're never gonna do it. And it happens. Like I love working out once I start working out. But to start, I'm like, wait, I should do this first or that first, and I don't have time for it. And you come out with 5,000 excuses why you can't go to the gym. And well, now you literally can't go to the gym, but whether it's going outside or just standing up and doing some squats, no, I don't have time for that. But once you start, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fun. I enjoy it once I start.
Yeah, absolutely. But to sit, forget about it. There's no way.
So do you have a tip for someone who is still in their pajamas or who is lacking the motivation? I know we say, okay, we have to take action, but what would you say, you tell your brain, or what can you do to really take that action versus talk yourself out of taking that action?
You know what? Don't make the action real big. Don't say, okay, I'm just going to go do a full body workout. Because you know what? You're not. Forget about it. You're not going to do that, right? Take one smaller step. So this morning when I get up, I'll go drink my coffee outside. Because for whatever bizarre reason in Florida, the weather's been like super pretty in the morning, right? I know, don't curse.
You can't say that out loud.
Okay. So find the small action. And I also tell people, right? So I take these with me wherever I go. There's always a journal in my purse, right? But I'm one of those people who actually, I don't know how to do this so you can see it. I actually write in it like it's not all blank, right? So
Oh, I should show you mine. It's
there's
blank. And I've got like 8 of them.
Oh man, there's nothing to me. Like sometimes I hurry up and finish a journal because I bought a new one and I like the cover of it more. So I can't wait to use it. So I hurry up and finish this one. If physical action isn't working for you in the morning, then start with mental action, right? So, or spiritual action. Don't think of those things as non-active things. So if getting up in the morning and hitting, your garage gym isn't going to happen for you, but getting up in the morning and praying is going to happen for you, that's an action. Okay. If getting up in the morning and journaling, is motivating to you, that is an action. Okay. That is engaging your brain. That is actually, just by thinking, we actually burn some level of calories. Unfortunately, not enough to wear off a margarita, but we do actually burn calories. So you're putting your brain into action in a way that maybe you have not done before. Right? So it doesn't have to be get
Yeah.
up and start training for a marathon. If you do that, we'll interview you live next time because that'd be great. You can give us your tip.
Well, that would be mom who gets up and
I think my favorite story about
has
your
all this
mom is
energy.
your mom going to Brazil and someone saying to her, "Oh, do you want to run a marathon with us tomorrow?" And Jane's like, "Yeah, sure." I would be like, "Who the
And
hell
then she
are
goes
you?"
and runs it.
And then she,
Somebody tells me, let's run a 5K in a month. I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm ready. I don't have enough time. And in 24 hours, she goes and runs a marathon. She is
no,
a
she's
badass.
totally a
I have to
badass.
say that.
I'm like, your mom's like the hottest mom I've seen. Like, that's amazing. Like, my kids don't have that benefit, man.
You're amazing too, Yvonne. Don't even say that. But I have to say, yeah, who does that?
Yeah,
My
your
mom.
mom.
She's great.
Exactly. Right, but those are actions that she's taken that have created a belief system for her, right? So she can say, "Oh yeah, I can run a marathon tomorrow," because not because she's just like, "Oh, let me manifest it and it will happen." She puts some action behind that. The woman is fit as all get out, so she's definitely,
Right. She gets up and works out every morning and she enjoys it, and that's part of her daily
yeah,
routine. So when somebody asks her to run a marathon, she's like, sure, why not?
yeah, of course. That would be like someone saying to me, "Hey, Vaughn, you want to go buy new stilettos?" Well, of course I do. Yeah, I'm ready. I am in action mode for that kind of a workout. Sure.
For that.
For sure. But don't ask me to try on
Yes.
pants, especially during this quarantine. That's not happening.
Leggings. We can try
Leggings.
on
Exactly.
leggings.
Exactly.
Those are our new best friend. Well, they've been my
Oh,
best
I know.
friend for a
You've
long
got the
time, so.
greatest job on the planet, honey. You show up in leggings and you're supposed to. I show up in leggings and I'm like that frumpy therapist. Like, who does that?
Well, it's funny because we used to live in an apartment building and, you end up seeing up and down the elevator with your routine and your schedule, the same people over and over again. And someone one day said to me, she goes, it's amazing because you get to like just work out all day long. And I'm looking at them like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, I always see you in workout clothes. I'm like, I'm actually going to work. Like, I am one of those privileged people that this is what I do, this is what I sell, and I have to wear it. And I love it.
Yeah.
I
I
love
think
it.
that's awesome. I think.
And I'm loving it now. I'm realizing that more and more people are working from home. So they're, reaching out to me. They're like, hey, you got anything cute that I can wear while I'm working that's going to like kind of fit both? I'm like, sure, we've got a whole selection of them. And so that's been,
Yeah. I
are you
mean,
still there?
Karina, you can wear equilibrium leggings and add the heels. Maybe with your high knee, Miss Karina, yes, you can. That's a great idea. No, but to your point, right? So part of morning routine is getting up and getting dressed, right? And I'm telling people all the
Right.
time, if you're working from home, get up like you're going to work. Like put some clothes on, look cute. Like, if you're gonna wear, I have my Equilibrium wear on today. I don't know if you can see it, but because I'm going to work out right after this
I
call.
love that top.
But there are some really cute things that you can wear that make you feel like, yes, you're professional, and yes, you're dressed up, and yes, you still look really cute. And that is motivating. Lounging around in, your husband's boxers and a t-shirt that doesn't match isn't motivating for anything.
Right. And I see that, I feel it personally, and I've seen it with, whether it's a client or a friend, or when you put on something, and obviously, we sell workout clothes, so I'm usually talking about workout clothes, but it doesn't matter what it is. You put on something that you feel good in, I can see the change in you before you even look at yourself in the mirror, if I'm at an event. Because you put this on, for example, for me, blue is my favorite color. I feel energized in blue. So if I put on like this blue jacket or the blue top, some of my blue outfits, I'm ready. Like I'm extra special for that day. I'm extra ready, extra motivated. Versus there are certain colors or certain styles that I put on and I'm like, oh, not feeling it. So it does change your attitude. I feel like women should, pay attention to the energy that they're feeling when they wear something. And choose those colors or choose those styles that make you feel special, make you feel pretty. Because when you feel that way, you have that extra motivation, you have the extra energy, you go out and you do a little bit more, you get more done.
It's funny, and I don't know if this is TMI for this show, but I tell all of my women clients to get rid of your ugly do the laundry underwear. Like nobody should have ugly panties at all, because even starting from what you put on underneath your clothes changes your mindset. So ladies, if you are out there and you know who you are and you got those ugly panties that you always use to wear to do the laundry and blah blah blah, and you hope that you never have an accident and the hottest fire rescue dude is coming to pick you up, you're hoping and praying, get rid of them. Get rid of clothes that don't make you feel good. Get rid of clothes that make, that are too frumpy, things that don't fit you anymore. Get rid of all the colors you don't like, things you wondered why you bought to begin with. Let them go, because Tati, you're 1,000% right. I mean, there's a whole psychology based on fashion and how we dress and colors and, our workspace. I mean, all of these things impact our brain. I have a friend who, she says, even if she's in her bathrobe, if she really needs to think seriously about something, she puts on her high heels. And she walks around in her high heels in her bathrobe. I was like, well, that's pretty sexy. That's kind of funny. Yeah. But it stimulates something in her brain. So maybe that doesn't work for you. Maybe, taking off your shoes helps you think better, whatever it is. But definitely, find the colors and the fabric and the things that make you feel good and put them on in the morning as part of your morning routine. Do not be taking conference calls in your fuzzy robe and slippers. It's not cute. It does
no, and not productive.
Does nothing for you, for sure.
I definitely think that, it's finding a few things that you've said today, to kind of like bring it back to, this routine. It feels like it's find what works for you.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously we're going to take tips and, follow some guidelines, but do what's going to work for you, because if it becomes a job or if it becomes too difficult, then are you going to commit to it? Are you going to stick to it?
No. You're not going to do any of that. You're going to say, you know what, screw it, that doesn't work, and I obviously wasn't meant to be successful and all of this stuff. I mean, again, like I was saying, I follow a whole bunch of people, that are famous, and I'm always curious as to what their morning routine is. And I take bits and pieces from them, but I don't take the whole thing. I am not getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to work out. It's not happening.
We had the trainer from Thursday's class. She was saying that she usually gets up at 2:30 in the morning because she starts working out that early. And I'm thinking to myself, I could probably stay up until 2:30 in the morning and go work out, but I can't wake up at that time to go to the gym. But it works for her. And it's fantastic if it works for her.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. But if getting up in the morning and doing like some slow stretches gets your body moving, then that's for you. You know, I mean, if getting up in the morning and going for a run before the rest of the world wakes up, then that's for you, right? But don't take someone else, just include those three things. Do something for your spiritual growth, your mental growth, you know, and your physical growth. Because then the rest, things like business, relationships, all those things come into place after that. But if you don't take care of you first, then you've got nothing to give anybody else. Like, what are you going to give somebody? You know, you can't, and you'll resent giving somebody something else because nobody's giving something to you. So you'll end up being, you know, angry at yourself and other people. That's when you see a lot of these people go, oh, well, you know why he or she is successful because they've done this, and you know, and that whole jealous catty thing comes in. No, maybe they got up and took care of themselves in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, no, self-care is definitely extremely
Mm-hmm.
important. And I feel that I've heard from a lot of people where they feel selfish doing so because they're not necessarily helping someone else, or let's say a parent. I don't have kids, but I hear that a lot from my parent friends. So like, oh no, I have to go help my child. Oh no, I can't go to the gym because I've got to take care of this. And they're focused on other people or other things that they want to take
Mm-hmm.
care of, but then they're miserable. And I'm like, you need to first do you. And it doesn't have to take a long time. What would you say a morning routine can take? 5 minutes
Yeah,
out of your day.
5 minutes, half an hour. You know, I mean, if it might
However
take
long you can
longer.
take.
But yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I think of this. So I am a parent, but I I do a 30-minute workout at least once a day, right? Usually my beach body, because Tati's my coach, and I buy my beach body on demand from her. But so I love having the variety of workouts. So I tell my
Mm-hmm.
kids, if you give me 30 minutes, you will get the mama you know and love. But if you don't give me my 30 minutes, in about 3.5 seconds, you're going to see the mama that terrifies you the most. So your choice, which one,
Your
right?
choice.
But that does two things. So for those of you who are thinking it's too selfish to do that, you're teaching your child to prioritize themselves too by modeling that behavior. You're giving them permission to take care of themselves, even if it's only for 30 minutes a day, right? But if you're there just taking over and doing everything for everybody else, you're teaching your kids how to wear yourself down to the grind. And at the end of the day, when you're drinking that wine because you can't unwind from your day, you're teaching them that too. Not that there's anything wrong with wine, but
No
yeah, oh
judgment
yeah,
zone.
no, Lord knows. But you have to be aware that of the message that you're giving, and that self-care is a
Right.
lesson for your kids too.
No, because they're little sponges. They're absorbing everything you do, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And they're learning from you. And they're gonna follow what you do
Oh
in the
yeah,
future.
1,000%. You know, they're gonna emulate your behavior. So if you're a family who gets out and goes for a walk, one day you're gonna find your kids doing that. You're, getting up and working out, or, journaling in the morning, you're gonna find kids who do that. Both my kids have journals, and they write.
Oh, yeah, we started. I think we were driving by the other day where Bally's used to be. And that was the first gym my mom took me. I don't think I was old enough to work out. And she's like, oh, yeah, my daughter's getting a membership here and we're going to come work out. It's just been part of what she does
Mhm.
always, right? And so even though some days I struggle a little bit more than others, it's instilled in me that working out is part
Yeah,
of life. I always saw her being a successful businesswoman and going out there and working and hustling, doing what she had to do. So for me, it was always like, okay, what do I need to do to be like
right.
her? And those were great examples. So you follow that. But I'm sure if I just saw her sleeping around all day and drinking wine and in her pajamas, probably what I'd end up
Yeah,
doing. So I'm really glad that she gave me some really good, things to look forward
yeah. And
to.
we're not looking for perfection, everybody. I mean, on Sunday morning, I don't jump out of bed and run down and do my routines and all of that kind of stuff. Sunday morning is like just, I have arranged my schedule so that by Saturday evening, I am done with any kind of work. And then Sunday morning, we got in the yard, we were doing some planting. You know, I don't hold myself accountable that one day of the week. You know, I do what I want to do and what feels right in that day. And then we got that big, beautiful storm through here on Sunday. So I was literally, it was so nice, right? I was literally laying on the couch with my husband watching the Ozarks in the middle of the day, which television during the day is not something I normally do.
But it's okay to do sometimes.
Exactly. I mean, you need a day off from a lot of things, including yourself.
Sundays are usually those days.
For me.
For me.
I mean, but some people work on Sundays and maybe Monday's your day. Again, it's not about copying somebody else's suggestion. It's about finding what works for you.
And I think that's one of the biggest lessons that hopefully our followers today can take home, you know, and really follow is do what's good for you.
Yeah. I mean,
do what's good for you.
You know, people look at journaling and they're like, oh, I cannot just sit there and write everything that's going on in my head. Well, then that's not the kind of journaling you do. The kind of journaling you do is write down your 3 goals for the day. At the end of the day, come back and see what you accomplished. You know, I mean, if it's just a worry for the day or a 1-sentence commitment to yourself for the day, write that. You don't need to sit and write 5 pages of the boy you liked in 4th grade. I mean, that's not what journaling is for. Journaling is essentially just a place to put your thoughts, because realistically, you know, you get those thoughts that keep ruminating over and over in your head. When you literally, and it works better, by the way, when you write versus when you type a journal, just because of the brain-body connection. When you write it, your brain says, oh, you've done something with that information. I don't have to focus on it as much anymore. I can move on to something else. So if it's just even a thought that's been weighing on you, write it down and let it be done. Doesn't have to be pages after page. Again, everybody, find what works for you. You know, I like hard-hitting workouts. Yoga, the thought of doing yoga, I love the idea of it, but I hate it. I gotta be so honest. I freaking hate it. All I do is,
it's too slow. Is that what it is?
Like, I sit in that pose and I'm like, how much freaking longer do I have to stand like this? What are we doing next? And then by the time you get to that corpse thing at the end where you're laying down, I'm asleep, like done. Forget about it. So I still do some of it because I think it's very good for my brain to get my brain to calm down. But you've got to find what works for you.
Yeah, I see that too. Like I've started meditating lately, and there's like different apps, and I realize that some days I'm just like, close my eyes, okay, just do the mantra for the day, and I'm like, my brain's going every which way, thinking about 1,000 other things versus what the mantra was supposed to be. And I'm like, okay, I failed at this. I'm like, no, you took the time, you did something for yourself, and it's okay. Yeah. Do what works for you.
And you know what? Maybe you'll go back to that evening. You know, I think the only time we fail is when we tell ourselves we failed. You know, this is not a freaking test. Like, you're not getting a grade at the end of it. Right? The only grade.
This is your life, and once today is over, tomorrow starts again, and you get a whole new chapter, a whole new page, get to start all over or continue what you were doing.
Yeah, and the only people that are holding you accountable for what you did yesterday is all those little people who live in your head that need to be told to shut up. Just shut up in there. Like, that was yesterday. So let's move on.
Yeah. So we're going to start our day with a routine. We're going to end the day with a routine. And like you said, the routine doesn't have to be the same every day. It doesn't have to be what your mom, daughter, sister, cousin, friend, Facebook, whoever. It doesn't have to be what they do. It just has to be something that works for you and that keeps you going and motivated and getting things done throughout the day.
You know, and I just want to throw in there, and I'm sure you probably agree, Tati, to make sure somewhere in these routines you add a little gratitude. You know, at the end of the day, I physically write down like the 3 things I need to accomplish the next day, but mentally I take in note what I'm most grateful for that day. You know, and
I like to write it down as well.
Yeah. You know, throw it out there.
Like it's something that you said that you about writing something down, and you're like, wow, I'm really grateful for. And some days it's just, I'm grateful that I have AC in my house, or, little
Yeah.
things. I'm grateful that I appreciate I have my hands and they work fine and they're functional. And or it could be a bigger thing, but we just need to be grateful, appreciate, show the appreciation, tell someone that you appreciate them and that you're
Yeah,
grateful
you
for
know,
them.
when this virus hit and people were like, "Oh my God, this is like a hurricane," blah blah blah. I'm like, if you think this is like a hurricane, you've not lived through a hurricane. Your house has power, right? And to be quarantined in a house that has electricity is, I mean, if you're gonna find something grateful, I was totally grateful for that. Like, this is not a hurricane, folks. Like, we still have the ability to do so much. Yes, it's scary, so I'm not negating any of those things for anybody, for sure, but we definitely have the ability to find something to be appreciative of, no matter the circumstance.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
Well, this was
should we
great.
open it for
Do you think
questions for
anybody,
anybody?
that's what I was going to say, if anyone has any questions or wants us to
Elaborate on something, or you want to
just keep talking, because I know you and I can
go
just sit
forever
here
and a
and
day?
talk all day
I'm
long.
jealous you still have coffee. I've already moved on to water. And I'm like, oh, more coffee would be good.
Okay, well, I think everyone's just enjoying what we've been saying, and I think just to reiterate, you want to just close up on what we talked about, the morning routine, some of the, like the 3 pillars and what they
Yeah,
should
so
do.
3 pillars are your physical health, get up and move your body. That doesn't mean that you got to start, a weightlifting routine, although it'd be really good for you, but just get up and stretch, move around. I have a friend who every morning he gets up and he does sun salutations. And that's just what he does in the morning, and it gets his energy flowing. That's great. The other thing is to move ourselves mentally, right? So do something that gets you mentally stimulated. If it's, and I don't suggest watching the news, but if it's something like, listening to great music, or, reading something. Some people read in the morning, that's, they find themselves most active, or they write in the morning. That's great too. And then do something that spiritually lifts you, whether it's meditation, prayer, yoga. I mean, there are just a multitude. Getting out and sitting in the sun, whatever those things are for you, get out and incorporate those into your day. you know and it doesn't have to be at 5 o'clock in the morning. I know that there are a lot of great motivational speakers, and they're like, oh, get up and start your day at 5 a.m. before the rest of the world gets up, and blah blah blah. And then I've got these clients who are like brand new mommies trying to get their butt up at 5 o'clock in the morning after being up all day, and then they're tearing themselves down at night because they can't do it. Yeah, no. All right, your morning routine starts when your morning starts. Let's try that. My morning started today at
Perfect.
7:30, and I was like, wow, I feel like this quarantine thing has been great. I get to sleep until 7:30 versus 6 o'clock. Wonderful.
Yeah,
But
that's
those are our
perfect.
3 pillars for sure.
Okay. Well, Yvonne, thank you so much for joining us
Hey,
today. This was amazing.
absolutely, honey. And if anybody has questions, throw them out there later, and we'll get to them. Or if you want something to hear a topic, let us know what you want. We trust me, we can talk about anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a specific thing. And as you can tell, we start with one and we add a few other topics as you start asking questions or as they come to our mind.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here today, and have a fantastic week. Get out there
Move
and
your
move your
butt.
butt.
And enjoy the 3 pillars. I
And just,
promise you, if you start your day off with them, you won't
yes,
regret it. If you do regret it, call me, because you did something wrong, and I'll help you fix it.
yes. All right, we're getting some. I'm pretty sure everyone had a great time today and enjoyed it. And so we'll be back next week. We'll let you guys know when. And so, like Yvonne said, if you have any questions, if you want to reach out to her, follow her on her Instagram or shoot us a message and we can
Yeah,
connect you with her.
absolutely. All right, everyone, make it
All
a
right.
fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and enjoy the tips. All right. Bye, guys. Tati.
Bye. Bye.